This afternoon. They came from a goal down in that one. Chelsea win again, just 2 points off the top. Forest, their 2-1 win over Villa yesterday with 2 late goals mean they are in a Champions League spot right now as well. Palace have won against their rivals Brighton at the Amex earlier. Liverpool and Arsenal both dropping points as well. I don't even know, guys, where to start with all of that. But Joel, let's start with Chelsea, shall we? It's 7 wins in a row, 5 in the Premier League.
Yeah.
It's looking like title-winning form, isn't it?
It's looking great, Linz. I think Enzo Maresca's so far manager of the season. What he had to contend with at the start, we were talking to him, remember, at West Ham, and he was like talking about the 30-odd players he's got and trying to manage the squad. A lot of question marks on the recruitment. And since maybe sort of late September, it's just been an upward curve, been faultless in Europe. He's managed to use the squad in that competition, and the midfield, Casado, Enzo, Lavia, Palmer, 3 of the 4 in there, is just dominating most games. So it's all looking rosy. I still feel there's a way to go, but I did say if come January Chelsea are within 4 points of Liverpool, I think they're in the title race, and they're closer than that now, and we'll see.
They won big here, didn't they, Aaron? How good are they, do you think?
Yeah, I think they've got special players. And I think the manager is definitely getting them to gel as a team. I think the previous season, definitely last year, that you could tell they were good players, but weren't sort of gelling as an 11. And I think now they're playing some great football. You know, with Cole top of his game. Joe's just mentioned the midfield there. You know, they are dominating games, and they're definitely up there, and they're playing really well. And I just think the more teams they can pull away from, then they're definitely in the title race.
What's the question marks over them, Peter?
Yeah, whether they can sustain it for entire season. I think Maresca's, what he's done so far has been fantastic. Said right at the start of the season, you know, how the way he's just got rid of players that he didn't want. I think it was so difficult to make that amount of players gel, you know, but the way he managed it it felt like it was unmanageable at the start of the season, and the way he's gone about it's been brilliant. It feels like he's created a harmonious atmosphere, because when we do the Thursday night games in Europe, every player that's not been playing in the Premier League seems to come in and do a job, and there's no one throwing their toys out the pram. They all seem like they're enjoying it there, and they all want to play for the shirt, which is something you wouldn't have said about Chelsea, certainly in the last few years. But going back to Joe's point of the manager of the season, I think Arne Slot will probably have something to say about it.
He might just.
Yeah, potentially.
There's a long way to go, boys.
Long way to go. Long way to go.
Karen, do you think the only thing stopping Chelsea from being serious contenders for the title is the average age of the squad? The average age of a Premier League winning squad is about 27, 28. The average age of this team is about 23. Are they a bit inexperienced then?
I don't think it's the age. I think it's in the experience. If we ask the same question, what we've said about Arsenal the last few seasons, it's because they haven't had the experience, the back end. And your legs get tired in, you know, March, April, and you're really pushing at the business end. That's why we've always said no to Arsenal. So I have to say the same thing. I think Chelsea were unbelievable. I think the 2 centre-halves are a little bit too young, and obviously the goalkeeper is he was fantastic today, but he's obviously a bit dubious as well. But they're certainly, you can't rule them out, but I think towards the back end, that's where they'll get found out a little bit.
I think their weakness is a centre-half and a goalkeeper. Sanchez was excellent today. If you can continue playing like that on that consistent basis, then they have no worries there. Fofana's a big miss. He's out injured at the moment. I think it doesn't look too bad. So if he comes back, I like Colwell. I like the 2 fullbacks in midfield. They've got it sus when Lavia's in there as well. Casado's brilliant at the moment. Enzo playing as a 10 with Palmer. And Nicholas Jackson scoring goals. And Nkuku comes on and scores. They haven't got to worry. Neto, fantastic. Madwaki in the final third. They have got talented players. And Cucurella, who I really like. I mean, I think he's an absolute nuisance. And I mean it in the nicest possible way. I mean, that is his 2nd Premier League goal ever, and the first one for Chelsea. He's a very good defender. You want him in your side, but you do not want to play against him.
If he's in your team, you love him.
Love him.
If he's not, you don't love him.
Azpilicueta reminds me of. And this boy just puts himself on offer time and time again. He misses so many chances, but when it's a half chance like that, he does it brilliantly. Look at the balance of him, just smashes it into the bottom corner. he will score them the goals to take them where they need to be. I think possibly we're not talking about the ownership anymore at Chelsea. No one's mentioning that.
We're not talking about the approach either, to be fair.
Because the manager's done a great job. He's got harmony there. He's used that Europa Conference League brilliantly to keep everyone happy and fit and ready to go. He's got in-house competition. And I believe if they're good enough in the transfer market in January and they go and get that cover for it, to get a little bit of an experienced Premier League player in that centre-half position and maybe another goalkeeper, or the easiest players to find goalkeepers, then I think they might have a chance.
Karen, look at those fixtures. They won 5 in a row. That's what's coming up. Most of the senior players don't play in their conference, as we know.
Yeah.
And they don't need to because they're going to qualify. And they're not in the League Cup. So all they've got to worry about, they've got the FA Cup starting second week of Jan, but it's basically league football week to week to week now, with the squad that most clubs would.
You know what happened last time they did that? Antonio Conte.
They won the league.
Won the league. I think if you look at those games there, they're all winnable with that. And winning breeds winning, and the mentality, and it's all positive. As you mentioned, everything is going smooth. And even in today's game, you know, Brentford the first half put literally everyone behind the ball and they found a way. Second half, they pressed them and had a right good go. This winner scored on the counter-attack. They've got every way of trying to break down a team. And yeah, it's just a 2 centre-halves and a goalkeeper, but you're right, there's still a window, and Chelsea find a way to be able to buy players.
Compete for titles in this moment, because if you see the goal we concede, it's throwing for us 90 minutes, and the team that is ready to compete for that use that ball in different way. But overall, it's important the performance of the team.
This is a very good Chelsea team, very good players. They also spent a few quits over the last couple of years. I think no one is in doubt of that. Well coached, and the way we compete with them today, the way they celebrated because they won, because they clearly respected us and knew it would be a difficult game. So, and I think we easily could have got something, probably this away from getting just a point if Fabio scores on that chance, and maybe we can win it. So I think there was a lot of positive in this game.
What happened at the end of the game? Marc Cucurella got sent off. Have you had any more information about that?
No, I just asked the referee, and he said to me that the second yellow card was for bad attitude. So
it's some irritation, I guess, because he's now going to be suspended for your next game, and that means a reshuffle of sorts.
Yeah, for sure. I said we have many things that we can do better, and this is one of them.
Ever been sent off for a bad attitude?
No, thankfully in those days.
Thankfully in those days they weren't bothered about attitude.
No.
It kind of sums him up, really. He tried to get everybody wound up those last 5 minutes, but previously he'd been brilliant at Marc Cucurella. In fact, both fullbacks have.
Yeah, it's a shame for him because he does do some silly things, but he's a terrific player. And he was outstanding today, as was Malo Gusto, who came on against Tottenham at half-time last week and gave them better balance. When you play against a team with wing-backs and you have a wide man yourself and full-backs, it's very difficult for the team with wing-backs, Brentford here, to pick up the full-backs. We see Gusto in a lot of space, and there's Cucurella on the other side getting in the box, and we don't see 2 full-backs linking up like that very often. These two are really positive. They love going forward. Look, this is an easy pass out. Cucurella's got a 2v1 on the left-hand side based on Brentford's system. Now, maybe they felt they could deal with the crosses, but it caused them, especially in the first half, too many problems. Again, they've got no one getting near to Gusto. There's your man Cucurella, a bit more tucked in on that left-hand side, inside Sancho. They're not sure who's going to pick him up. He's running from late, he's running from out to in. Gusto getting on the ball in his own half. He's confident, he's got good feet, he's got great energy and fitness. And then at the bottom of your screen, there's your left-back Cucurella, overlapping Jadon Sancho, and again causing Brentford problems because they're getting outnumbered in wide areas. And it's brave. I mean, you know, there's turnovers at times and they're wide open, but they take this risk. You see the different positions of both fullbacks here. There's Gusto. This time he feeds it out. This is a brilliant cross in, but who's in there getting a diving header? What a goal that is from Cucurella. And if they keep taking these risks, they're going to win games and they're going to score goals, but they will be vulnerable. Same again second half. Even when they were winning the game, Gusto flying forward, running in behind the wing back into that space. Great pick out. Really good with his end product, I have to say. And again, they nearly score. And this is Cucurella mopping up in the middle of midfield, doing the good things that we talked about, and again creating another chance. But unfortunately for them, he's going to be suspended now.
With the pundits last week, Troy and
what do they know, Mark?
What do they?
What do they know about goalkeeping?
They did say one of the reasons they thought Chelsea might not win it was down to they mentioned the defence, but they also mentioned the goalkeeper.
Yeah,
you are evidently disagreeing with them.
No, I mean even today's performance. Yes, he had made some mistakes this season. Don't get me wrong, but I think he the credit he should get is equal because he's made some brilliant saves today. This is I think it's maybe just been offside, but he wasn't. That's a brilliant 1v1 block. This is probably one of the saves of the weekend from Norgard. What the save this is? The replay, his agility, his flexibility to get up and get that over the crossbar. That's a brilliant save. A really brilliant save. And this is at 1-0 as well, chappers. All these saves are 1-0. So, if Brentford can get back into this one I love it because he's so quick off the ground. And at the end of the stuff you can't teach goalkeepers is bravery. He's thrown the kitchen sink at his feet there. He can't get injured, obviously, and I'm probably a few scars to show that. But what I'm saying is he's brave, he's quick, and you see at the end, the shot at the end, his own teammates clapping him, the fans behind the goal clapping him. I think he's had a really good afternoon.
I thought what he also did well, just quickly, is his decision-making on when to kick and when to play out today was so much better. He kicked it long more often.
Do you take Maresca's point that, the kind of goal they conceded might show why they're not ready to challenge for the title? Or do you go, look, they're 2 points behind Liverpool, albeit having played a game more, they have to be in a title race?
The latter. I think he's just trying to take the pressure off his players.
Yeah, 2 points behind Liverpool. They're banging it. It's going to be a great title race, and I think this Chelsea team are playing with